Hi, this is Gully Gofarb. Thank you very much for joining me here today. Today I'm going to be talking about epileptic seizures and how nutrition can help. And I'm sorry that this video is a little bit long, but there is a lot to cover. So for people suffering from epilepsy, a balanced whole food, mostly plant-based diet, whereby they eat a variety of foods, mostly from plant-based groups, is vital for helping the body function at its best, and it also helps reduce seizure frequency. Food choices and nutrient content of the foods that we eat is crucial for more control over the frequency of seizures. Now in this video I will examine the foods, additives, herbs, and supplements that increase epileptic seizures, so that we know how to avoid them. And also I will give a list of the best foods and supplements for reducing seizures so that you can increase these in your lifestyle. I will also mention foods and supplements that react with specific epileptic drugs, so you know if you need to be careful with these or not. And I will also mention drug interactions to help you recognize if you need to supplement or not, depending on the drugs that you take on a regular basis and their effect on your nutrient status. So let's begin. So how does food affect epilepsy? Well, firstly, a healthy diet helps reduce epileptic seizures by helping you keep a steady blood sugar level and also energy levels. It also enables you to maintain a regular sleep schedule, which is of major importance for seizure reduction. A healthy diet also helps you stay active, which is good for general health as well as seizure reduction. And hydration is also critical, since drinking water supports brain function and reduces the possibility of seizures that are triggered by dehydration, which is among most people suffering from epilepsy. So let's look into the lifestyle pro-epileptic contributors, meaning things that increase seizures. Now, although every person with epilepsy is different, there are some common triggers for seizures, and these include stress. Now, the precursors of stress are different for everyone. Also, lack of sleep, alcohol consumption, weather changes, dehydration, especially with drugs that also affect hydration levels, and flashing lights. But there are also less common compounds that have been shown to be pro-epileptic, meaning they increase seizures. So let's look at pro-epileptic additives, herbs, and supplements that may contribute to epileptic seizures, and you may want to avoid these. They may also cause seizures among people that have never suffered from them before if they are taken in high quantities. Examples of these ingredients include anything with preservatives, colorings, monosodium glutamate, and artificial sweeteners. So now I will mention 14 other additives, herbs, and supplements that you may want to reconsider taking them if you suffer from epilepsy. And the first is molybdenum. Seizures of all types were common after taking a cumulative dose of about 13 milligrams of molybdenum over 2 weeks as a supplement. Therefore, any multi-nutrient supplements like multivitamins and multi-minerals that you take should be checked for these compounds that what compounds they include, including molybdenum, before you take them if you have epilepsy. The next compound is Guarana extract. Seizures were verified after taking Guarana extract, which is mostly found in weight loss products. Now, aspartame is another dietary supplement associated with seizures when used in doses of over 34 milligram per kilo of body weight for people, and also for people with phenylketonuria. Ephedra, also known as Huang, is another substance that causes blood vessel constriction. It is also commonly found in weight loss products, and it is referred to as fen-phen or Indian tea. Ephedrine containing products are also marketed as decongestants, bronchodilators, and stimulants. So you must be careful also when you take any medication when you are feeling sick or when you have high fever, that they don't have anything with ephedrine in it. Also the plants yohimbe, Kava Kava, black coash root, bearberry, Ginkgo biloba, ginseng, as well as evening primrose oil are found to increase seizures. Also, taking supplements of DHEA leads to seizures. Caffeine intake should also be monitored. Caffeine from tea, coffee, and energy drinks has a stimulating effect on the central nervous system. Now, caffeine can increase the possibility of seizures and also affects anti-epileptic medications. So I recommend absolutely eliminating coffee from your diet if you suffer from epilepsy. Stimulants such as excess of salt, sugar, spices, and animal proteins in general can trigger seizures because they suddenly change the body's metabolism. Now let's go into foods that can reduce seizures. For most people, a diverse and healthy diet will provide all of the vitamins and minerals they need, and taking supplements is really unnecessary, but this is not the same with epilepsy. There are certain foods that help reduce seizure frequency that you really want to add. And the first group of foods is foods that release energy slowly. Many seizures take place when blood sugar levels are low. Allergic reactions to foods containing white flour can also trigger seizures in children especially, but eating foods that release energy slowly is very important. They not only help you feel full, but they also help control seizures. Hypoglycemia, low blood sugar levels, is often a triggering factor in many people who suffer from epilepsy, especially those who suffer from regular seizures in late morning or late afternoon when a meal is skipped. Therefore, meals should definitely not be skipped, and steady energy releasing foods should be consumed daily. These foods include all foods that are rich in fiber, like whole grains, peas, seeded breads, brown rice, oats, nuts, beans, legumes, sweet potatoes, new potatoes. These are very important. Also, non-starchy vegetables are very high fiber, like broccoli, all the greens, onions, apples, pears, tomatoes, and berries. Now, berries are especially recommended because of their high antioxidant content, which brings us to the next anti-epileptic group of foods, which are foods that are rich in antioxidants. Lots of studies have reported that after a seizure, many free radicals are produced, too much for the capability of the antioxidants that are found in the body, such as superoxide dismutase. And these antioxidants just cannot cope with this increase in free radicals following a seizure. Now, these free radicals lead to degradation of proteins, fats, and even the DNA, leading to so much havoc in many cellular functions and the membrane structure. This leads to a lot of deterioration over time following every epileptic seizure. Therefore, antioxidant agents are of utmost importance, and they are found in the body and they must be supported. The antioxidant enzyme superoxide dismutase, which is produced and found in the body, requires sufficient levels of copper and zinc to function properly. Other antioxidant enzymes in the body require selenium for their normal function. And these nutrients are also essential for normal function of the neurons. Therefore, you want to be consuming daily legumes, seeds, nuts, whole grains, spirulina, leafy greens, and dark chocolate. Now, the next group of food for reducing seizures include foods that are rich in vitamin C. Vitamin C is water-soluble antioxidant vitamin that the body does not make it. It does not produce it. So you need to get it enough from foods. And these foods are citrus fruits, including orange and grapefruit, kiwi and berries, cantaloupes, and certain vegetables like broccoli, tomatoes, Brussels sprouts, red and green peppers. Now, not only is vitamin C an antioxidant vitamin, it is also a cofactor in the conversion of dopamine to noradrenaline, regulating neurotransmission. Also, people with epilepsy have shown to have reduced levels of vitamin C in their blood, so it is important to get enough of the foods that are rich in vitamin C daily. Now, let's look into supplements that are very useful for reducing seizures. The first one is omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acids. They cannot be made in sufficient quantities in our body, therefore they must be taken in the diet through supplements or through foods. The healthiest, cleanest sources are nuts and seeds, including flax seeds, chia seeds, almonds, and walnuts. These are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which have been found to suppress seizures at a dose of even less than 4 grams per day. These fatty acids also have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects and are very recommended for people suffering from epilepsy. The next is vitamin D supplements. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin with many critical roles in the body. In the brain, vitamin D is a neuroactive steroid. In the central nervous system, vitamin D regulates neurotransmitters and so many other things, as well as controlling free radicals. It really does affect the brain function, and studies show that people with epilepsy regularly have vitamin D deficiency in their blood, providing the rationale for taking vitamin D when you suffer from epilepsy. Also, some anti-epileptic medications lead to disturbances in calcium and vitamin D metabolism, so I recommend taking 2,000 IU's, international units, of vitamin D3 on days when you don't get enough exposure to the sun's UVB rays, such as during wintertime. The next vitamin is vitamin E, which is shown to reduce seizure frequency by almost 60% for people taking supplements of 400 IU of vitamin E. This was shown in a research that took 3 months. After a seizure, vitamin E supplements also offer neuroprotective effects against free radical damage. Vitamin E not only is an antioxidant but also has anti-inflammatory functions, and because vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin, there is a possibility of taking too much in supplement form. So if you don't want to take vitamin E supplements because of the possible toxicity, although not very often, but it may happen, then you want to increase vitamin-rich foods in your diet, and these are nuts, seeds, green leafy vegetables, including spinach and broccoli. Okay, vitamin B6 is also of major importance. It is a water-soluble B vitamin and plays a vital role in the development and maintenance of the central nervous system. Vitamin B6 is present in vegetables like carrots, onions, and tomatoes, and fruits like berries, apples, watermelon, and bananas. The vitamin is transferred to the liver after absorption, and it goes through several processes to form the active form of vitamin B6 that can cross the blood-brain barrier. There it helps produce the neurotransmitters GABA, glycine, dopamine, and serotonin, and histamine. And B6 is water-soluble, so toxicity is almost impossible. I recommend taking B6 as part of a B complex, which has all of the B vitamins in the quantity of 50 milligrams 3 times a week. And this is important. I will talk about why it's important to take the other B vitamins all together as well in just a minute. But I also want to mention a few more supplements that I recommend taking, like Pyruvate. It's converted into acetyl coenzyme A when there are sufficient B vitamins, but Pyruvate can also work as an antioxidant, and it helps suppress inflammation in some people. That has been shown to be there in people with epilepsy after seizures. Also, magnesium deficiency is found to provoke seizures. Magnesium blood levels were found to be low in people suffering from grand mal epilepsy seizures. Magnesium levels also fell with increasing span and recurrence of the seizures. So supplementing with magnesium is associated with reduction of seizures. I recommend supplementing with 400 milligrams of magnesium taurate 2 to 3 times a week. I'll get into why magnesium taurate in just a minute. But first I want to talk about foods and supplements with epileptic drug reactions. Anti-epileptic drugs are grouped into 2 categories. The first category is the liver enzyme-inducing anti-epileptic drugs, which include carbamazepine, phenobarbital, and phenytoin. The second category is the non-enzyme-inducing anti-epileptic drugs, which include levetiracetam, valproate, topiramate, clobazam, clonazepam, ethosuximide, gabapentin, lacosamide, lamotrigine, tiagapine, vigabatrin, and zonisamide. These drugs from the first category, not from the second category, lead to risk of bone diseases like osteopenia, osteomalacia, osteoporosis, and rickets. These drugs disturb calcium balance and lower the levels of calcium in the blood. So people taking medication from the first category should also supplement regularly with 400 milligrams of calcium about 3 times a week. You can also consume foods that are rich in calcium that are plant-based, including almonds, oranges, soybeans, and leafy green vegetables. Dairy products are not recommended for people suffering from epilepsy and should be removed from the diet. People taking drugs from the first category on a long-term basis, which is most people, will also see deficiencies in the B vitamins, as well as B12 deficiency is very common and should be taken separately from the other B vitamins to ensure its absorption. However, it is essential not to overdo it with the B vitamins, and you don't need to take 100 milligrams. 50 milligrams is fine because of folic acid levels could reduce some of the blood levels of some anti-epileptic drugs, including phenytoin, phenobarbital, and carbamazepine. A dose of 50 milligrams 3 times a week is adequate of the B vitamins in the form of B complex. Now also grapefruit juice, pomegranate juice, St. John's wort, garlic, folic acid, and echinacea do not trigger the seizures, but they can alter drug metabolism of diazepam, carbamazepine, and midazolam through the inhibition of the cytochrome P450 system enzymes, and medications should not be taken with these 6 herbs and supplements, which I will mention them again. These include grapefruit juice, pomegranate juice, St. John's wort, garlic, folic acid, and echinacea. Now, besides these vitamins, doctors have found that treatment with taurine and vitamin B1, thiamine, can reduce seizures. This is why I recommend taking all of the B vitamins as a B complex. And this is also why I recommend taking magnesium as magnesium taurate, which also has taurine in it. Now, to all of you who suffer from epilepsy, I wish you fast and full healing. I hope you liked this video. I hope it was helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you'd like more information on anything to do with health and nutrition, as well as visit my blog and my website where you can purchase books and programs that will help you lead a healthier lifestyle and will help you lose weight if you are interested. Now, thank you very much for joining me here today.